What I'm going to be talking about today is interracial celebrity couples and their impact on society. What I'm what I'm going to be talking about today is interracial couples and the impact they have on society. Here we have Mildred and Richard Loving. Mildred and Richard Loving, they were married at a certain point, but because of how race was back in the day, interracial dating was always frowned upon. So, what I will be talking about today is interracial celebrity couples and their impact on society then and now. Here we have Mildred and Richard Loving. In 1958, they were ripped from their homes and thrown into jail. Why? Because they were married. 24 states prohibited marriage between different races, especially if you were black. The only reason that they got married was because they found out that Mildred was pregnant. And of course, maybe love. But after a long fight in the courts, it was found that interracial dating and marriage was actually unconstitutional. The last state to actually lift the ban of interracial marriage was Alabama in 2000. On this slide right here, we have Ruth Williams, comma, and Sir Seretse, comma. Sir Seretse, then known as the Prince Seretse, comma, was the chief of the Bamangwato tribe, who later became the first president in 1966 of the Botswana. Of course, their marriage was something of a nuisance to people. Their marriage and their dating brought about a lot of controversy. When they had finally announced the news in 1948, Ruth's father threw her out the house. An uncle of Seretse threatened to fight him to the death if he ever brought his wife around. This marriage later on brought on an inspiration for a movie called A Marriage of Inconvenience and the book Color Bar. Back then, as you can see, interracial dating and interracial marriage was something that was foreseen as just an abomination. But nowadays, we have couples such as Eve and her husband. Eve is a recording artist, and her husband, Maximilian Cooper, has said to have changed her for the better. Here we have John Legend with his wife, Chrissy, standing with Kanye West and his wife, Kim Kardashian. They both are interracial couples who are both married. We now have celebrity couples who find no problem with dating each other, dating different races. And because of this, society looks up to them as role models. Nowadays, although it is still hard to walk around with a different race as a couple, it is not frowned upon as it was in 1958, when it was hard for a couple such as Mildred and Richard Loving, and Ruth and Sir Seretse. Last and certainly not least, we have Bill de Blasio and his wife, Shirlene, who is black, and he who is white. Bill was the elected mayor of New York in 2013, and he is the first white official to be elected into a major office with a black spouse by his side. Although there are still controversies about blacks and whites dating and blacks and Mexicans, whites and Mexicans, and different other races, it is not as much frowned upon as it was back in those days. And we have celebrities to thank for that, who have such a great impact on society and who shows us that it is okay to date outside of our race.